let everyone join. Few seconds more. Start the session. I hope my video and audio is clear. So yeah, let's start. Guys, welcome to Android Study Jams, session 1. So like now you're wondering what is Android Study Jams? Basically, Android Study Jams is a community. Google teaches their students using like they teach Android Studio, like Android native Android development using this session Android Study Jams. Basically, this is a series of sessions focused specially on learning and building Android apps. Now, so you will be wondering where like what is this course about? What we'll cover? So uh, I recommend you to check out the learning pathways provided by the Google. The link will be in the chat. My team will provide the link in the description. So the link is here also. You can refer to this link and you can see what learning pathways Google provide for Android and learning Android basics. So yeah, doing this sessions Android study jams, you'll earn badges which will be like provided by the Google, and you can use those badges to make your own Google developer profile. Wait, I'll show you what developer profile looks like. So if you go on Google and search developer profile, so see, there is a Google developer profile. So by doing these sessions, you can earn some crazy, like some awesome badges and can make your own Google developer profile. Loading, yeah. Yeah. See, so this is my profile. All your badges will come here. All your whatever sessions you like what like is it Android study jams or what all the sessions like if we'll be hosting ML study jams, so whatever sessions you will complete, you'll earn badges through Google. Okay. Now let's continue with our session. Yeah, so let's get started with Android Study Jams session 1. So there are some prerequisites for this session. I hope you all have downloaded the Android Studio. If not, you can go and like put it on download through developer.android.com. You can download the latest version of Android Studio from there. Also, if your laptop does not support an emulator, then you need an Android phone with a USB cable to connect and build apps. So yeah, and a basic knowledge for programming concepts. It's like yeah, I'll be going through all the stuff, but yeah, you should know basic programming. Okay, now we'll talk about the session objectives. There are 4 session objectives. We'll cover basically 4 things in this session. Basics of Kotlin. We'll build our first Android app, which will be a happy birthday app, happy birthday card app. Third is the dice roller app. Through this app, you'll learn more about compose and also state and UI in Android. Yeah, we'll also build a 4th app, through which we will deep dive into the concepts of compose states. So let's begin with the Kotlin basics. Yeah. So why Kotlin over Java? Like now you are thinking, you have like read through a Google, like basically Android development uses Java, but now these days all the Android developers are shifting to Kotlin over Java, because Kotlin is a modern, is a modern transformation of Java. It has multiple features that Java doesn't have. Like you can, your code is safer there. Your code is safer in terms of Kotlin has more strict rules over the nullability of variables and objects. So yeah, Kotlin as a modern language is more expressive and concise, and it is more structured. So like through this name, you can clearly understand like why Kotlin developers like Android developers love Kotlin more than Java these days. Now, I'll be going through some basics of Kotlin. So, you guys won't be probably have a compiler of Kotlin. So you can check out this link, their online compiler, official online compiler, which is provided by Kotlin itself. You can, I'll be going through the basics, so you can like do stuff on this online compiler. So yeah, we can get started. So yeah, let's get started. We'll start with operators in Kotlin. Like in a general programming language, you know that there are operators in a language. So yeah, we have mathematical operators, increment, decrement operators, comparison operators, assignment operator, equality operator, and all this stuff. Okay, just start to code. Okay, so so what is this basically? This is basically you can say heart of a Kotlin code. There's a function we all know, a machine which like on in which through which you passes some input, it processes something and gives the output. So basically Kotlin has a main function. So main function should be defined in all the Kotlin programs. So yeah, so let's run and see what this main function does. Yeah, so it basically prints this line basically defines a variable known as Kotlin, and print ln basically prints the variable Kotlin, which is an emoji. Okay, now I was going through this operators. You all know these operators, how basic method, addition, subtraction, modulus operator, how these operators work. So now let's go through the data types. You'll probably have like courses of Java. So yeah, the Kotlin data types are all similar to that of Java. So you'll see long, integer, short, byte, double, float, character, and Boolean type data types. So yeah, these are pretty common data types in all languages, and Kotlin is also like not any other. Yeah. So let's remove this, and we'll start with the tradition of printing hello world or hello Kotlin. Yeah, so hello Kotlin, or I can say hello, uh, hello everyone. You can run and you can see. Okay. So yeah, now strings. Strings is one of the most important data types. The strings are one of the most important data types of all the languages. We use like on a regular basis, we require strings to perform various functions and stuff. So like let's write some code using strings. So yeah, let's go. So yeah, now I also give you some info on variables. So basically, Kotlin has two types of variables. Like there is a var, and there is a val type variable. Basically, val is is a type of a variable which you can only define once in your program, and you are not able to change its value in a program. And var, by its as its name, variable. So yeah, it varies through program. You can redefine it in the program. So var name, I'll put it as Dave. Now we can print ln. My name is name. Okay, so basically this is a like property that string template, which like most of the languages possess. So basically, you can use variables inside a string using a string template. So yeah, let's run this in. Yeah, my name is Dave. So even if you now change this name of the variable, I'll change it to Shan. And now, okay, let's try making this as Val, and then try to change its name again to Dave, and we'll see what error Kotlin gives us. Yeah, so Val cannot be reassigned. As I said, only variable var, which is declared, the variables which are declared as a var can be redefined. So yeah, let's rechange it to R, and here we go. My name is Dave. So yeah, now here are some basic string operations. We all know concatenation and string templates I told you about. So yeah, let's continue forward. String template expressions. Yeah, we can create like we can like manipulate our code accordingly to like create such expressions. Now we come to variables. I already explained you like we have a mutable type or immutable type, two variables in Kotlin, and these are this is var and the val keyword, which is an immutable type. Var is a mutable type. Okay, let's move forward. Conditionals. Yeah. So as like every programming language, Kotlin also has conditionals. You might be wondering like conditionals like if else, for, while, and switch. But Kotlin has a different uh, uh, control flow statement when, which is very similar to switch. Okay, so like let's do some put some if else and hack NASA. So yeah, so if x equals to var x 0. So if x equal 0, print NASA hacked, or else you can print retry. Basic if else code, we all know how this works. NASA hack. Yeah, guys, let's go NASA hacked. Yeah, there is one more example I've provided here. You can basically use any comparator or comparison operator to perform operations and like run if else operator. Yeah, so this is a more complex using else if. Now you can also provide an else if. We can also give an else if. We can give if x equal 1. So print uh, NASA uh, attack. Wait. Uh, NASA rehacked. So yeah, you can change the variable of x to like then else if code will run, then else will run. The basic stuff you already know. Okay, now ranges. Yeah, so we can also like define a range in Kotlin and like through a special way using this dot like type of a symbol. Basically, modern Google languages like Dart also has this type of range definitions function. So let's like use this code here and show you how like basically this works. So yeah, So basically it gives number of students. Yeah, like the number of students was 50, so it gives it in 50. So yeah, prints number of students is 50 in one line. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, now when statement, as I said, it's like a switch. It's like switch statement. Like in other languages, you give switch result, then you like if result is this, then the output will be this. If the result is this, output will be this. So yeah, we can use this switch statement here as like we can define a function uh, var as yeah, we can define it as var. Like let's say we'll take example of grades we get. So a grade is let it be like s for a while. So when grade, so yeah, so you would define if I got a s grade, then basically this is basically if it's a s grade, so this will happen. Print ln, you got an you got okay. So yeah, like this, like if it's a, you can similarly copy, and if it's like b, you can do the same. Let's see. Yeah, I got s. You might like b. I hate b. Yeah, so this is when. You can use range inside when, and yeah, at last if none of the condition fulfills, then else part of, like if in switch there was a default which like works and works when none of the result outcomes there. So here it's else. Let's move forward. Then our good old for loop. Okay, so here I see one more new thing that comes. It's array of. So basically, what this array of is, let's check it. Like, yeah, let's take this example. This is a bit like looks a more complex one. So let's take this example, and I'll show you how this works. So yeah, it's for index comma element in pets dot with index. So yeah, so basically this pets is a here pets is a list, or you can say array of pets. Pets array, yeah, was array of, not wrong. Yeah, was array of. You can also use list of. I'll tell you the difference in a meanwhile. Let's define pets. So we can say Charmy. We can say Shera, and you can also say Tommy. Okay, now let's run this. Yeah, so basically this for loop gets the index and the element. So this is a function with index. So basically it forces this pets list to give the index as well as the element. So now these variables index and element get hold of the basically the element value and the index, and we put it through print element. Yeah, let's move forward. Okay, now so like in other languages, for loop also has step function, basically a step value. So you can jump through a range. Like if it's like 3 to 6, so if you specify jump through 2, so it will jump to two indexes to like in a range. Yeah. Now we come to while loop. We all know how while loop works. Okay, so while, which we can say let's create a forever type loop. While we can define basically a counter. So var count equals to 0. So yeah, if count equal 10, then basically break or continue plus count plus plus. And we'll also print the count. Yeah, yes, it. So this counter will probably run through it. Yeah, it's 0, so it will probably plus plus and will run through around 0 to 9 because it will break on 10. And we are adding plus. So let's see where it runs. Yeah, it run through 10. Basically, we did count plus plus before, so yeah, after the plus, then we are printing the statement. Yeah, then we are going to the while loop again after the plus, that 11, and it's on 10. It's getting break. Also, we also have do while loop. Basically, do while loop works basically in while loop. The very first time condition gets checked. So we described as while as true. So if until unless you specify a break statement, while loop will keep on running or its condition fails. But in a do while loop, even if the condition of while loop is like is the wrong very like it's wrong for the very first time, it runs for the one it runs for one time because of the do state. Basically, do forces while loop to run once, and then it checks the while condition, and like, yeah, that how do while loop works. We also have repeat loop. We can like a repeat loop is more like for loop. In a for loop, we know how many times we have to run our code. So through using repeat loop also we can do same. It's you can it's like you can say repeat loop is a smaller specification of for loop. So yeah, let's print let's print something. I 2 times, 3 times, number of times you want to print. Repeat loop is used for that. Okay, now let's continue. Yeah, now it's time to like see how list and arrays work with Kotlin. Yeah, so lists are basically ordered set of collections. As I said, list like you the array is like defined collection. You can't extend an array, but a list is like mutable. You can extend it. You can add more elements to it. You can remove elements through it. So yeah, so basically we can create immutable list also using list of function. So yeah, let's create a list val list of we can create like list of string, or you can say you have multiple data types in a list. Yeah, so we created a list of multiple data types. Now let's see if it prints the list. Yeah. We can also create mutable list. As I said, we can perform operations through it. So here is an example given where we define a list of some musical instruments and we are removing violin from it. So let's see. Okay, there is probably some error with while list mutable violin remove violin. Okay, yeah, we are not printing anything, so we are not seeing any sort of output. It's just executing the list. So now we'll see the list with the removed element. So yeah, violin is removed as we specified the remove, like you can say a method on my list, mutable list. Okay, now we come to arrays. As we know, arrays are like C type arrays. They are fixed. They are mutable. like yeah, elements are basically in an array. You can't extend, like you can change the, like for an index you can't change the value of that index. No, okay, wait. Array store multiple items. Yeah, so we can store like multiple data types. Array elements are mutable. Now, okay, we can change the like the element. Basically, if we want to like change a element at an index, we can do that. But yeah, they are of fixed size. We can't extend once an array is defined. We can't change its size. So yeah, here is an example which of pets, and we are using a Java util arrays.strings to print it. Basically, array of, I guess, like defines the array. So let's try this also. We can again define pets. Array of, and again use our good old names. Tommy, say Jammy, Tommy, yeah, and we can, yeah, we can print and check pets. Yeah, okay. So basically, this array is array of is derived is a Java based class. So yeah, as you, if you are familiar with Java, so you probably know how array works in Java. So if I try to print pets, basically it's pointing to the list of those arrays. Now to access it, we have to convert it to strings and use it. So basically, this Java util.arrays to string convert this list of, like this, as a pointer to the list of arrays to strings, and then prints it to the screen. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Tommy, Tommy, Bella. Basically, that list of array is now converted to a string and it is printed to the screen. Okay, now let's continue. Yeah, as I said, we can create like mixture of data type in an array. You can also define an array with a specific data type, specifying the data type in front, and like yeah, using it as a basically a class of int integers array, or you can say string arrays. Combining arrays, we can also combine arrays, like we can combine two arrays to in a one array. Okay, now like one of the most important concepts of Kotlin, null safety. Basically, if you are familiar with Java, so you know, like Java has no like option. You can't check like null operators, null variables in Java. Basically, it's like less safe. If your like code is like, if some part of a code is somewhere nullable, like so Java doesn't have those like proper features to, like you can specify that this code, this part is null. But yeah, Java lags the null safety features, and Kotlin extends it. So yeah, null safety in Kotlin. देखो, uh, in Kotlin, variables cannot be null by default. Yeah, so variables can't be null. So if I define, like I'll try to show you. Even if I say var name, and like now if I try to do something, or I try, like it is a var, so probably you will think we can define var later on. But yeah, it's not, it's actually not possible at this not possible, because uh, as you read, Kotlin variables cannot be null by default. We have to specify this is a null variable, and we'll be later, like changing its value or using it as a null only value. Yeah, so we have two basically operators that are used like for the most of the cases, and I'll also show you how we define a variable null through a program. So yeah, let's move on. Yeah, so in Kotlin, null variables are not allowed by default. So if you like try to do this, now you see you will get the error. So yeah, null cannot be value of a non-null type. Yeah. So we define a number of books to be an integer type, but we are defining it as null. Now, if we want this to be a null, so we have to put a basically a question mark. Question mark is like, yeah, it's null. It defines it as null. The syntax is like this. Okay, yeah. So basically there is no error. So basically this variable is defined. Now we can redefine it as it is a var variable. So I can define 10 books and I can print it. Then you can see there is no error. Yeah. Okay. Now safe call operator. That's what we did here. We added a safe call operator question mark that defines key. Yeah, this variable can hold null. Okay. Now, basically, in other programming languages, we used to test nullability like this. Number of books is not equal to null using an if. But in Kotlin, Kotlin provides, as I said, it's a modern language, so it provides modern ways to check if a variable is null or not. Like if you're defining some like a function or a property for like for number of books, like dot decrease, it's like it will decrease its value. So this variable is null or not, you can define using the safe call operator, and you do not need to specify if the variable is null. You don't need to worry about that. Just putting up a question mark defines that it will check this operator is like nullable or not. If it's null, then like program will like give you the suitable error. Okay, now this operator basically you can call it as a bang. Like there, you can see there are two exclamation marks. So you can call it as basically bang operators. So if you're certain a variable won't be a null, so you can use this to force a variable to be a like to into a non-null type. Basically, if you're like, damn sure, so you can use this basically variable. So I'll give you an example for this. Yeah. So yeah, let's specify let's change this code only to specify the basically the what I called as bang operators. So as this integer is null, so if I do some sort of a like let's change this integer to string. Okay, now let's try to access the length of the string. You can do this in print statement only. Number of books dot length. We will check the spelling of leng. That's fine. Let's try if we get the length of the string. So we'll probably get the null pointer exception. Yeah. So we get a null pointer exception. So basically, this operator forces a variable to be not null. Like it creates an error in your program that it basically warns you if this operator is null and you're using a property of that basically like a string type variable. So yeah, it's not possible. Can't have a length of a like nullable string. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to give number of books a string. Yeah, like number of books a string, but it's fine. Let's continue. Okay. You probably like reading the name of this operator. You'll probably remind this guy Elvis Bhai, but yeah, it's Elvis operator. So yeah, this operator basically is used for chaining purposes. Yeah, if you're like if you don't want your variable to be null, so what you can do is you can chain it using Elvis operator and provide it like if it's null, so it will give it a different value. So we can like check it here, or you can use that code only to check this. So basically, what it is if wait, sorry. So yeah, number of books. Basically, this text key operates. It puts a like yeah. It changes to integer. Okay, yeah. So we have to convert it to like some value 10. Now var number of books integer is like a question mark specifies it can be null. So like let's see if the value becomes null. Yeah. Okay. Now we'll print number of books and we'll see what's the okay. Now let's make it null. Now, yeah. So you see the number of books was null. So using this Elvis operator, we defined it to 0. Basically, we are say like basically we are putting safety in our program that we don't get any sort of a error using like any sort of a function if the operation. If I remove this, so you will probably get an error when we'll try to. Okay, yeah, it gives null, so it makes sense. Basically, this was null, so number of books is null. But we applied a like basically a property or a function. We wanted an outcome, so it basically saves our program. Okay, let's move forward. Yeah, here is a fact that you can see the symbol of Elvis operator. It looks like a face. So basically, it was inspired. This operator was inspired by Elvis Presley's style, like how he used to style his hair. So yeah, it looks like a face to me, but yeah, it is basically it's like a smiley on the side with an pompadour hairstyle of Elvis Presley. Okay, now we'll advance to functions in Kotlin. Okay, so basically, as I showed you, basically what we are doing like when we start, like I've told in the start, this is a main function, and everything should be like a main function should be defined in a Kotlin program. So yeah, so you know of what a function is. Basically, you can it's a block of a code that can run any time, any for any specific task. It can also helps us to reduce like a lot of if we are putting a lot of code, so we can reduce the code by dividing it to chunks. We divide so yeah, in Kotlin we define function using the fun keyword, and this is as I said, it's a predefined function main. We can also create our functions using the fun keyword. Yeah, this is the main function, and yeah, as I said, we can create our functions using the main keyword. So yeah, so let's play with functions. We'll see how functions work. Function, say hi. Okay, so I'll take some like name whom to say hi. So okay, now this syntax is like I suppose it's not new to you now. You define the data type of a variable, data type of a basically an argument of a function after the function, and you can also define the like data like what a data type like function will return. So we can provide a data type here as string. So we can just return hello name, and we can call function say hi here. Name. Okay. Name say hi. Okay, yeah, it's returning, not printing. Sorry, we should print. Should basically save it to a greeting. Greeting should be val type val is fine. Yeah, so means now print greet. Yeah, so hello Dave. This is how basically our self-defined functions look like in Kotlin. Okay, let's move forward. Now here you'll see unit. Basically, unit is like you can say it's like if you have used other languages. So basically, there we specify void. So unit is basically a void of Kotlin. You specify unit when there is like function doesn't return any other type of data type. Like it returns unit. Yeah, unit returning functions like this one print hello. It returned print hello. Okay, now function in Kotlin also has like have three types of, we can specify three kinds of parameters, either default, required, or name type like arguments. So yeah, let's like take an example and try passing all types of arguments. Basically, fun, drive a car. Okay, so we can specify drive car as like can specify a speed of a car, which will be an integer, and you can also specify mileage, which will also be an integer, and we can specify what other roles we can specify, speeds. Yeah, so we can specify an instruction, basically instruction of sort of a what, or you can specify car type. I wanted my car to be BMW. Yeah, so here's my function definition. I don't want my function to return anything. I can either specify unit, or even if I won't specify anything, like it considers it as grant. Unit always returns from function. So yeah, we can print. So yeah, uh, car speed is speed, mileage, mileage as mileage, and you can specify. Okay, wait. I love I love my car type. Yeah. So I love this car type. Yeah. I love this car type. My car speed is speed and the mileage is this. So now we can call this function here and see. So this see. So basically this car type is basically a default parameter, and we have already defined a default parameter to the car type. Okay, and these are some of the required parameters. So yeah, I'll specify 72 and 56. If mileage is too much, it's like 15. 15 is fine. Now, if I try to run this, okay, great. Another type condition required value parameter unresolved reference car type. Okay, yeah, okay, I haven't defined the type of car string. Unresolved reference. Okay, start. My I love BMW. My car speed is 72. Mileage 50. So yeah, this is how the you can specify arguments, or like there are how parameters like default, required, or these are the required, and yeah, name. Basically, you can even specify this as a named parameter, like speed equals to 72 and mileage equals to 50. Yeah, it remains same. They become basically named parameters. Okay, now we advance to more special type of functions in Kotlin. Those are compact functions. Let's see. So basically, you define a function properly. Like there is a function, like you declare a function using fun, then you declare its name, then you declare like arguments inside a function, and you declare like what data type of function return. Then we have a body. But Kotlin also provides for like a compact version of the function. So basically, if I create this as a function double, and let's remove this and specify a function double, so I can quickly use this function here. Okay, it doesn't provide, we have to print basically to see the output. Okay, yeah. As you see, double basically returns and whatever integer you provide inside multiplied by 2. So this is a compact definition of a function. Now we advance to more type of functions, lambda and higher order functions. So yeah, let's continue. I've showed you some built-in functions like main, predefined functions like what we defined as a car. We defined our like we were driving cars to drive car, and I showed you the how compact functions work in Kotlin. Now let's move on. Okay, now lambda functions. Basically, you can consider lambda functions functions without a name. So if I take this example only, I'll show you how lambda functions work and what they do. Lambda functions basically does not have a name or like they are not defined using the keyword fun. They are basically represented using there is a like you can see water filter is a variable. So we provide like argument level integer which gives the result which operates to level by 2. So yeah, this is how a lambda function works. Basically you can say unnamed functions. So yeah, we our dirt level was 20, so we divided it by 2, it became 10. Let's move on. Okay, basically higher order functions are nothing, just you can say a function passed as an argument. Those are higher order functions. You can even use you can also define lambda functions inside a higher basically inside a function as an argument. So yeah, higher order functions are good. Let's move on. Okay, now we come to again an important topic, that's classes and objects in Kotlin. So let's see if there are any questions in chat. Then we'll continue with classes and objects. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any questions in chat. Let's continue after a water break. Okay. So yeah, classes and objects. Basically, we all have studied object-oriented programming in our number of courses. Like people know object-oriented programming through Python, Java, C. Okay, so now how you can like what is object-oriented programming and how like what are these classes and objects? So basically, if you think in a like of a real world, so basically you'll see we can specify like I'll give you an example. You can specify animal. Animal is a like you can say animal is a class which has subclasses as a male, female. We like male, female. We all are defined as basically you can define male, female a subclass into as humans and humans in male, female. And so yeah, this is how basically classes works. The classes are basically you can say blueprints or you can say or a very classic example is of basically if I define a car. So car can be of a type of sedan or like sedans like Verna or something, and it could be some sports car of BMW or Ferrari. So yeah, classes objects basically was the concept developed to implement real world examples easily through code. So here you can see classes are blueprints for the objects. So if there is a class like if there is a house, so there is a map for the house and objects. The houses are itself the objects of the like built on those maps. Let's continue. Yeah, so classes and objects can have their properties. Like house has a color, has like you can say a number of walls, or like you can also say number of rooms in a house. All those stuff. Like objects can have number of properties. This is like how the concept of OOPS works. Let's continue. We'll define our very first class. So let's move this. Let's define our very first class of animals. Okay, so animals class, basically we can define a number of properties in animals class. We can define animal sound. Let's create. Okay, so you studied functions, so we can the classes also can have their own functions inside them. Those basically, when are used with objects, are called methods of those classes. So we can define function like that of sound, like what sound an animal make. So yeah, we can define function sound, print ln sound, and we can also define other variables for animals like var, like basically a uh, number of legs they have. Basically, mammals have four, and they can have variety number of legs. It's an integer type. So now we can specify it. It can be nullable, so we can specify it as null. And what are the properties of animals we can use? We can define their color. This can also be nullable. Okay. So now we can extend a class like of that of a dog, class of a dog, basically using animals class. Okay, now like if I try to extend this class dog using the, like, we'll basically, what we are doing is basically we are inheriting the dog class, although like we are inheriting the child with the parent. So basically we are defining an animal dog using the basically animal, the parent class. But you'll when I'll like try to do this, you'll see Kotlin will probably give us the error that we can't define like we can't inherit basically subclasses like this. So let's move on. I'll show you how that this subheading works. We basically have to define it as an open. Basically, this class is now extendable. So yeah, now we can clearly define the function, or we can clearly use those variables which were defined by the animal class. So basically, number of legs, 12, and we can also define color as say brown. Okay. Okay, so now we can also print. Okay, now we'll create object and we'll use the print. So yeah, let's create an object val, and we can name it as doggy, and we can say a dog. So doggy, we can print it. Yeah, let's try. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have made an error for us. Okay, so it's okay. Wait, so number of legs. Okay, yeah. So this is a var. So dog is Anna hides member of subproperty animal need an override. Okay, so we can override. Okay, we'll come back to this. It's basically we'll solve this error. Okay, so yeah, this is basically how the class we can define class. Okay, now the class has you can define constructors in a class. So for this class only, we can have constructors like we can have multiple constructors for the class. So basically, the variables which we like constructors, we all know what constructor is. Basically, constructor runs whenever we first time like declare a class through object. So it's like this, if this is a class, so if I like if I create a variable val c inside it, so this variable will be created whenever we use this class. Okay, these are some of the examples of the, you can say how the how we can create constructors, and we can define the like let's use this example and let's see. Okay, this one was not working. We'll come back to this. Let's leave this like this. We can create basically a class, and in main we can create an object for that class. See, we can define any number, and we can print c dot the basically the property or the variable defined in the class. Okay, so what's the problem actually? The same error was coming. C is defined is the object. Okay, I see. Okay, one integrity, the parent, and then unresolved difference. Okay, yeah, okay, this is the one. Yeah, okay, yeah. So you can see how the constructor works. As I said, we can even define some like as like in a function, we can even define some default parameters, or we can like give named parameters in a constructor call in a constructor or in a class call also. So yeah, basically in Kotlin there is no like there's a concept of primary constructor. So we use init basically. Init means initialize whenever the constructor is called. So we use init for that stuff. So I'll show you the example later. Slide. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, we can have multiple init blocks. There is no restriction from how many init blocks we need. Okay, yeah. So here is an example. As soon as this class is declared, this function is called, and this like this print function is called inside init, and we get our result 20. Let's see how this works. We have to create a main and call an object in main. Let's do that. We create an object. Val object is square, can specify 10, and we move on. As you see, we call this constructor through this object, and as soon as we called it, the constructor in it was called. Yeah, we can have multiple. We can define more constructors using the constructor keyword. As I'm doing it, you would have seen what I'm doing is I'm continuously for this example, what I've showed you for the, no basically the earlier example I showed you, and we were accessing the property of an object, like a property, you can say a property of a class for an object using the dot. So yeah, you can see here the example clearly. Okay, so we'll like move on, and this custom getter setter. Okay, now we'll move to inheritance. We'll probably see how we can inherit other classes with like other subclasses with their parent classes. So basically, like Java, Kotlin also has a only we can only inherit a class only with a single parent class. Kotlin has a single parent class inheritance. But we can use interfaces you can say are just you can say a proper, like if a class we can define function or anything in interfaces. These are proper blueprints. We can't define a definition of a, like we can't define a proper variable or a definition of a, or we can define a function, but we can't give a body inside an interface. So we can use an interface to extend the subclasses from a parent class. So here you see an example, interface shape, which defines a function compute area, but only its definition, not the body of the function. Now what we do is we use override to extend the compute area for our subclass, which was circle. So we needed area of for the circle. So we used an interface, and we overrided the basically a compute area function and got the result, which was the area of the circle. Now let's fix our we can let's show you this example, then we'll fix our animal wala code. Okay, so now you see how this class circle is, we'll use this to define. So we'll define function name. Okay, now we'll create an object for the class. So you can say val obj in, yeah, object of circle, or you can say a shape circle is an object, and then we basically can call the circle and define the class, and we wanted a basically radius, so radius be 12. Run this. Okay, Kotlin double was a gap. Also. They expected double, so we'll give it 0. And we need to print this basically compute. We have to call compute area also, so we can wait, print shape circle. Yeah, so now you see we get the area. Okay, let's continue. As I said, we can use the open keyword to extend the classes. Now, if you try without an open keyword to extend a class, so we'll get an error. Okay, so yeah, one more important thing, abstract. So basically, you can consider abstract as abstract are just like interfaces. They are also used to we can use multiple abstracts to extend a subclass. So yeah, so I'll show you an example of an abstract, how abstract works, and how they're different with the interfaces. So basically, in abstract, you can define a body of a function. As was an interface, you were not able to define the body of the function. We'll use abstract to define the body of the function also. Let's go and we'll see this, how this abstract works. Okay, now like I'll tell you what happened. So we have defined two abstract variables, kilocalorie and name, which has integer and string as their data types. Now we have defined a function. See, this is a like single line function. You can say a compact function which prints when we call consume through a object. So yeah, we extended a class pizza, and how we have overrided those variables, and we can easily we have created the consume using we have called the consume function. I'm eating pizza. Okay, now there was like a lot of Kotlin. Now we'll do some hands-on. We'll make our first Android app. So yeah, let's do this. So we'll be making a birthday card app. So yeah, after a small water break, we can continue making that app. I hope you guys are like doing well. I've read the chats. The chat is almost yeah. Let's go. My first app. Oh, okay. Okay, Rupak. I hope you have downloaded Android Studio and you are ready to like, do stuff. Okay, we'll start. So yeah, we'll be making a birthday card app as I said. So okay, so if you have downloaded the Android Studio, when you'll open the like if you have set it up properly, when you'll open the Android Studio, so we'll create a new project, and I hope my screen is visible. But I'll just check. Yeah, my screen is visible. Okay. Now yeah, let's switch to Android Studio. Close the application. Yeah, okay. So basically, we are developing an app for phone and tablet. So we'll choose an empty activity and we'll go to next. Now you can name your application whatever you want. I'll name it Happy Birthday. Happy Birthday. Wait, Happy Birthday card. So yeah, we'll click on finish, and also you can specify the minimum SDK. Minimum SDK is basically like for what API level of Android devices you want to like build your app. So yeah, just leave it like whatever it's there, just leave it. We'll continue, finish. Okay, let's move forward, building our first Android app. Yeah, Android Studio might take time to get sort of set up in the beginning. Once it's like started, so it will be like can easily work in flow. Okay, it's still great. It is still building. So okay, for a while, meanwhile, I'll tell you some basics of like what is Gradle and how Android works. So yeah, Gradle is you can think Gradle as basically kit developer toolkit or something that manages your project. Basically, it helps your projects to bind all the dependencies of your projects and like basically and like basically a Java code, or you can say can run on any mobile or device. So it's the job of a Gradle is work as a basically a manager of a project. It manages all your dependencies and it specifies how to run your project. So that's what Gradle is. You can see the Gradle is building. So basically, it's a new project. Probably download some as I choose the empty activity. activity already has some thoda sa code, so it will take a bit of time to get built. Okay, so it's time to. Okay, now you can see this main activity file. So what is the main activity file? You can consider main activity file as basically you can say a screen of your app. So basically you can as in a Kotlin there is as like you saw a function called basically function how Kotlin starts. Basically you have to define main everywhere. So your app, this is the main screen which can make your app to basically a home screen, you can say, that entry point of your app. Great, taking too much time. Okay, so you can see default code. I can show you what it looks like. So yeah, let's talk about composable. So what is composable? So from the syntax, it looks like a decorator. Decorator, like there are decorators in Python for the functions. So basically, composable is like not exactly a decorator. Basically, you can say decorator is a part of a composable. Composable basically defines a bit of you can say a background code, or you can say byte code for a function. Basically, Android basically uses XML file and views and layouts to build its UI. But now using the Jetpack Compose, like in Flutter, you can define code like you can define UI through code. Like as in Flutter, as you have might seen in languages like Flutter, you can define text using code in Flutter. So Jetpack Compose is basically a UI based, you can say, a library that extends that powers Android to build UI through like coding through. Yeah. So composable is basically you can say a sort of a decorator which extends the functions power by providing its metadata. Yeah, basically you can say it's more it's a father of, you can say, decorator. Now you can see this preview background show background true. So basically this preview is also is, you can say, a decorator sort of in Jetpack Compose. It basically allows us to preview the UI before even building our app on Android Studio. So we'll see through this. As I said, main activity is the entry point of our app now. On create is basically a function which is, see, on main activity probably be an abstract class or an open class. So we are overriding the create function. Yeah. So much. Okay. Create errors. Okay. For now, we can show one more and launch one. Okay. Yeah. Let's start the preview. I'll show you how it previews the code. Okay, so yeah, we can look through the how the basically this is and want some specific task to be a mission from a user. So we specify that in this manifest XML file. We have a predefined UI theme theming for this project. So we and main activity I told you. REST stands for resources. I'll show you how we'll add the resources to the project. Okay, this values string.xml file. So basically, what's its importance? Basically, like we'll not hard code our strings on in the strings.xml. We'll probably define all those strings here so that all those strings are like when our app and if our app is used like in either in like by any other foreigner or using like if someone wants to change the language of the app, so it's easy if the string is defined in like not hard coded, it's defined in this XML file, so it's easy for the compiler to like convert through that language. So these are basically some good practices we'll adopt while developing the. Okay, now we can build. I can show you how this looks like without starting with the UI part of it. Okay, you can change this name to greeting. Change to happy birthday greeting. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah. Okay, it's taking a lot of time. Wait, I'll show you. Okay, it's generating. This happy birthday will change this happy birthday greeting. Okay. It's taking a lot of time. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Let the Gradle finish task. Happy birthday. So let's start building the. Okay, now we'll see what components we require actually for building the app. We require basically there are two form of text: Happy Birthday Sam and from Emma. So yeah, what we'll do is happy birthday, happy birthday Sam. Yeah, and we have one more text field that is text from the way we can define from here greeting from can as an argument string. So yeah, from and the modifier. Okay. Okay, now you'll be wondering what this modifier is like different argument passed. So basically, this modifier it helps us to extend the like properties of a function of a composable. So text is a function that like generates UI text on the composable. So you can see we have multiple properties, all those properties defined. Okay, now okay now we'll fix this. We have to define basically a name. We'll define Sam. There we are defining text as pura greeting. So we'll change it. We want it as name, and we'll also define from whom. So it's Amma. Amma. Here also we'll do the same. Define Amma. We'll change the same to Sam. Okay. Now we'll see the how the UI looks. Loading. Okay. You can define number of properties like we want this. We want both of text to be on like same in same column. So we can put them inside a column. We can wrap them around a column. So yeah, here it is. I can show you the preview here. We'll wrap these both of the text around a. Okay, now it's rendering. Then we can only see how how this looks for now. Like with basis. It's taking a lot of time there to if we go through the code, so what I did is as I said, modifier is the all the visible. So yeah, so we had given a modifier using the vertical arrangement parameter. We have centered our all those text inside the column. The text one, which is happy birthday Dev, and text two, which is happy birthday they from whom we are doing. Okay. Now in the text space and using the modifier, we have further changed the padding and the alignment of the if you like from Anaya into the center. Yeah. Center, where is the spelling? Center. Okay, there's probably a vertical property. Center horizontally is the property name. So when this will build from an I will be at the center. From wait, I specified Sam from okay, this should be from so yeah. This is how it currently looks like. We can specify modifier default parameter and we can extend it vertical modifier dot vertical scroll role. We need to extend it. So what we did here was we extended the column using the property vertical arrangement. So basically it a vertical arrangement put it in the center. So we'll do that. Okay, now this is actually this actually got built. Now you can see I changed the property of the text to center horizontally, and now it's at the center. This is arrangement dot okay, vertical arrangement is spelled Rasa. Vertical still not identifying vertical arrangement property like pressing alt plus enter. You can see the if there is some problem with the code or if there is some error. So yeah, vertical arrangement you can copy it from here. Spelling mistake. Yeah, still showing error because we are not putting in comma here. Yeah, no problem. arrangement is we have to import arrangement. Yeah, so this is now basically column will be at center. You can see other properties we have defined for text like font size, line height, text. You can use this. Over here, yeah. See, we have defined other properties like line height, font size, alignment for the first happy birthday Sam text. You can keep it to 3 dots so that will build. For other text, we have specified more properties of font size, and if we have used modifier to give it a padding. We'll also copy this, complete our app. If a user setting is like set to like if a user is like elderly, he wants to see his he wants to see his the text on his phone or the font of his phone large, so he uses so by defining sp automatically sets its value according to the screen of the user, like according to the ratio specified, like 70 SPV specified, so it will be and DP is basically more related to the pixel. Basically, it will not change according to the user setting, and it's more fixed or strict, you can say. Okay, this is how it currently looks like with all those properties. It's still loading. Okay, okay. Now probably we are done with our text. We have properly see it out. Yeah, from Emma we can shift from to this side. Basically, you will specify center horizontally alignment way. You can shift this to different. Is it- Now we see how we can add images to our file. So we'll go to resource manager. The link for this image for the app will be provided in the chat. Our team will do that. So we'll click plus icon and click import drawables. Now we'll I already downloaded the image. Probably you guys have to download the image from the source. So we'll look for the image. It's Android party.png. Click OK. Okay, we'll select we'll basically we want this image to extend through our pura background of the app. So we'll specify the density as we'll basically this property sets various devices as various number of pixels defined. Like if there is device so 160 pixel in a so 480 pixel device. So basically if we'll choose if we'll specify density and we'll choose any other value, so it might this image will only be uh, like like well suitable for 180 pixel device but not 200. So we'll basically specify no density for that reason. Click next. We'll see pura preview of the image and the location. We'll click import. So our image is imported. You can see here also in the project folder, we can check our image is imported. Here it is our image. See, it's imported. Okay. Now, what we'll do is you'll probably aware of something which is known as container. So what we'll do is we'll wrap our widget through on a like via container, so that we can specify the background image to it. So wrap it with the widget, wrap it with a container. So container in like basically in this Android with Kotlin and with using Compose, we call it a box. So we wrap all the contents in a box. So yeah, let's see how we specify box and stuff. Okay. So yeah, so we have to specify an image. Now image should be in the background. So what we'll do is we'll provide image property. So yeah, we have need to import this. So basically by clicking Alt plus Enter, if you're getting some red stuff, so by clicking Alt plus Enter, you can easily import and we can select what it is a composable. We know that when composable, we got the import. I will specify the properties. Okay. So now what are the properties of an image? So basically image requires a painter. Basically it requires a painter resource. Painter resource is nothing. It will just give your image through the resource by specifying. We'll specify the location. R stands for resource. Drawable is the folder, and then the name of the image. It basically is the image location, and using a print painter resource function, we can give the ID image location to the painter resource, and image painter parameter accepts painter resource, basically a painter resource here an image. So we can easily like copy this code and specify painter resource. You have to also import painter resource. So basically click Alt plus Enter on painter resource. Okay, okay. It's defined. So we'll specify painter. Painter is image. We can also like put content description for being for like it's good if you provide a description of an image. Fill the max size. Now let's see what else we are missing for the image. Yeah, we have to scale it, and also we can like let it build its building. So it'll show you how it looks by defining all these properties. You can play with these properties. Okay, so the image is like a bit old. People, this app is basically used. Layouts and views are used to make this app. We are using the compose, so we are defining everything like properly and newly in the new. Let it build. I'll show you some other stuff in the already built app. So here you can see I have specified a border. So this border property basically is property of the greeting text itself. So what I have did is key. I've specified border using the border property. I've specified the width of the border and the color. So you can see the text here. Basically, I'll show you the text. Hmm. Okay, you see this text. I'll show you. Yeah. Fine. So see, this is basically a greeting image. Get a string from, as I told you earlier, R means a class resource which defines this like for folder, and basically string means string.xml file, and from string.xml file we are extracting the property name called as happy birthday Dave. So you can see happy birthday Dave. And how to do this easily? You just select, like, if I want to make select this, click your right click, show context actions. Now you can basically extract string resource, the function which you can, like, I can extract the resource, avoid hard coded strings and stuff on the code. If I click this, you can see it automatically converts that resource to basically now, okay, it's a string resource, so we need to convert it to a string, so we have to use basically a get string method probably. Okay, why it's showing an error, let's check. Unresolved reference greeting message. Greeting message is there because it's showing content descriptions expects so uh, get string function. Okay. G is, sorry, G capital, get string import function get string. Get string. Okay. Still showing there. Why it's showing there? Okay, the mismatch for type. You can click add string dot, oh yeah, you can do that. We basically converted this call to string. Okay, yeah. So see, our app is like almost ready. Now you'll probably see those. This is because of this. We'll change this property. Basically, we'll specify the scale. Basically, we'll specify a scale so that it's scaled through our screen. Now you'll probably be wondering, what is this property known as alpha? What I have used? I'll show you it. It's building. So this alpha basically blurs, or you can say blurs the background. So you can specify it as 0.5 or whatever image. Common center that where you're making mistake. Basically, this was the app we are trying to build. This is the first Android app. Okay, yeah, you saw what happened when I changed this to like 0.5, and you can see the difference here. Okay, this is how build. You see the difference here. You can clearly see there was a difference in background color with this property used. Okay, and also our image is now like properly scaled. Properly see, it's now there is the images are properly scaled. Arrangement is top center. So yeah, we can successfully say that we have built our first app in Android that looks something like this. It says happy birthday to your favorite person. Okay, now we can advance to our next app basically. Uh, I am not building this because if you can see my screen, I have already I have the app on my phone, so I can show you there, but there's no point. You can clearly see how the app will preview. Here, if you're facing any build errors, I can like check on the stream. Okay. I hope you are able to follow. My team will make sure to put the link of like the all the, like what else you can practice with using those all these properties I told you. Column. We also have property of row. So basically, you can also specify row in Jetpack Compose, column, row, box. You can practice more, and the source code for this will also be provided in the link itself. Yeah, it's already there. Wait. So yeah, let me just give this really problem I wanted to run. Okay. You can move to our next app. So basically, from this app, we have made our first Android app. We have like how composable, like it's a decorator, and how it's different from a decorator in language like Python. We have seen how to import the image. Now, second app. See what our second app is. Close the project. So the second app we are going to build. Yeah, it's basically a dice roll app. What we'll do is we'll have a button. When we click on this button, so the dice will roll itself, and we'll be able to like interact with the dice. So basically, now we'll learn how you can manage state of a image by pressing a button. So let's go. We'll start with that. So I have already like made this app. I'll then we'll start making the new. We'll start with the new project. Okay, it's still yeah. Okay, so Android Studio is slow for my laptop, but when it loads up properly and fastly. So yeah, here it is the code for the app next we are going to build. You can see how the design of the app is. Basically, it's a UI state works in Compose. So let's start with a new project then. Click new project. We want empty activity. Next, we define it as dice roll and finish. It could take thoda sa time to get built. We'll wait. Project is getting ready. Okay, now you see the preview of that. We'll the whole button. This doesn't have much UI. We'll just see how the state works. Okay, so let's change ISO themes there. We don't need this composable. We also don't need this greeting. Main activity where we can remove surface pura part. We need this. Okay, so remove theme. Our app will be like okay, yeah, it's be heavy. That works. So we'll remove this. And we can start our rolling attacks. So, yeah, final function dice to layout. Simply composable. So composable, composable function dice to layout. We don't need this. Okay. Now we'll see how it is. Okay. So initially dice roll layout is fine. Now we need a button. So let's first basically there is a image, then there is a button. So first we'll make a button. So a column is like buffer, okay, image then a button. So we'll define a column, then an image. Leave it as a blank now, and we'll define our button. Button has property of one click. Okay, text as role. See, we can horizontal it. As a property. Okay. We will see this second. Thing. We'll leave it. Okay, now Define image, we have defined call, defined a button. We have all the other components. Now we'll again going to drawable, clicking on import drawables, and there is a dice image. We'll select all of them. The link for the downloading the images will be provided in the chat. So here, as we are like not going to expand the image throughout our screen, so there is no need of defining specific density to our image. The quality is like fine enough to, like, to get the work done. Import. Here's now. Create this done building. Theme column. Import library column. Image. Import alignment. Compose field. Text. Text also. Whole button. Is it stuff? Composing. Properties. Horizontal alignment. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So we define all the stuff in column. Now we'll have a image as we talk. Media image, composable image, image paint. Yes, drawing. Done. Image is fixed. Button is done. Okay. We also have one more spacer widget that adds space between two. Import spaces. Import height. Import DP. We are done here to provide content description. We'll do this later again. Okay. Now it's time for how we'll define our state. We'll define all our variables, whatever we need. So, okay. So basically, we'll do this by defining a variable known as result, which will be, I'll just write in delivery. Okay, so remember we have to also import and mutable state of function we have to import. Okay. So basically, now what this result is, now there is a concept called composition and recomposition. Now, basically, what is recomposition and like what is a composition basically in general? So how if we define our UI through code, so what does compose do? It just transforms that like code into the UI basically. Now, if there is a change in UI, if you press a button, if there is a change in text, so compose basically recomposes or basically rebuilds that part of the UI. So so most of the like whatever properties we define, whatever function we define with the word composable, that function becomes like it now it has like compose give powers, like it can recompose that complete part of the UI. So mutable state, yeah. So by declaring this result as mutable state of value 1, we tell compose that during a process of recomposition, you remember the value of the variable result. So that's how basically it works. So now what we have wrote here is, and you know the how when works like so yeah, so how when works. So basically, we'll use this result. If the result is 1, we'll render the image dice 1. If it's 2, we'll dice 2. It's 2, then dice 2, 3, then dice 3, then dice 4. Like that will basically print, will like render like dice 6 images. And in this we'll call this basically when a button is clicked, we'll pass this as a text. When the button is clicked, we'll basically uh, call like change the result value will change. And if the result value will change, the image resource will change. And if the image resource will change, then you can clearly see the image will change. I'm pressing the button. That's how we handle a state of the app. So state of a basically a composable. Yeah, we need to import some stuff to avoid these errors. There are basically a lot of imports we have to perform because um, okay, we have to fix this. This is fixed. The logic of state has been defined. Now we'll change this painter imager. How we are going to define this? Basically, our painter will be now painter resource. If you remember from the last project we made, we use painter resource to define the ID. Now, image resource is the ID. Image resource is the ID. We'll also define why it's still giving error. No, it's not. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Now, image is defined. Basically, image will basically paint whatever the image rest will be. That depends on when and the result. Okay. Now, what we'll do on the button? What we'll perform on button click. So what we can do is we can use a lambda function on the word result by calling it on a range. Yeah. So we'll use a lambda function. Okay. Yeah. This is how we'll do it. Basically, on click will call. This is basically is responsible for like choosing any random value between 1 to 6 from this range. You can import random if it's not imported. Check. Okay, we're missing the Okay. We'll redefine button on click. We'll change the on click result. Result will be okay. This should be in square brackets because we are calling a lambda function 126 dot random. Random is basically function to generate the random word. Now in this button scope, we can define a text. Which will be potato property needed. Okay, now this result is showing some error. Val cannot be reassigned. Yeah, should declare it as var because it will change again and again. Okay, it's now showing some error. Let's see, check value. Yeah, it's fine. Also, like as told before, we'll not give any sort of hard-coded string value. So we'll just extract it to string.xml file, and we are sorted. Yeah, also we need to call this here. Before that, dice role layout. Dice role layout, and let's see how it looks. So the most important learning of this module was how we basically manage state. Right. I guess you have got the point I was trying to explain. I was trying to explain the state. There was one more app I was like would have covered because like now I think the session time is like almost we have we are like 2 hours 10 minutes. So zap for like what we'll do is we'll make multiple compose functions. We'll try to use that one like the state of a one function like from the another function. So like to avoid like rebuilding, as I said, recomposition is the process of rebuilding the UI. So we'll to avoid the very much rebuilding of UI, which is like of course the increase the decrease the battery life of our app, and will so we'll to avoid that we'll see what are the methods to define state in globally basically, or you can say a global or main compose function rather than defining it for every small compose functions. So yeah, I guess that build was successful or not. So we can check here how it is looking currently without specifying the modifier. Take a lot of time. Okay, build. You can optimize your imports pressing Alt press Enter. Alt press Enter. See, there is you can optimization of your code by removing the unused ports. This is how it will basically look like if I add 2 more modifiers. So yeah, that's a wrap for the session. Thank you for attending the session 1. I know it was so no problem. We'll cover more in the next session. Thank you. Goodbye for attending the session.